Hopefully it has a manual option. Hopefully it has bigger redesigned turbos and makes even more than the 530 horsepower that I'm guessing. I would love to be wrong on those things. What's going on, guys? Bijan here. So if you want to know all the secrets and everything happening in the car world well before everybody else, go and smash that subscribe button to stay up to date. If you stick around till the end of this video, you'll get to know everything about the CS or CSL test mule. Now the news. Now we're in a BMW. There's BMW news. I love BMWs. BMW. So of course we have to talk about it. Now, previously we had a very nice car built by BMW. For those of you who don't know, BMW's E46 M3 CSL, those three letters really meant something. But to the untrained eye, you could not tell that CSL was any different from a standard E46 M3. It was quite a bit lighter, had a little bit more horsepower, and it was meant to be a little race car. Now, if you have a trained eye, you could tell between an E46 M3 and an E46 M3 CSL. The CSL had that nice kind of duck-tailed spoiler, and it had a different front bumper. Now, there have been some shots of a G82, and it doesn't look like just any G82. The ducks in the front and that front lip looks different, which means we could have another CS or CSL on our hands. Now that means that if this G82 comes out and follows that typical formula of that E46 M3 CSL, we'll have something that's significantly lighter, have a little bit more horsepower, and just be a little race car. Now the E46 M3 CSL was an awesome car. Inline six, lightweighted, it had the right formula. Now imagine updating that to today's standard with two turbos. Oh, that's exciting.
This is so exciting.
The G82 carbon fiber bucket seats already look super nice in this generation, but I imagine they're probably going to pull maybe like a GTS, take the back seats out, maybe put a half cage. I'm kind of curious to see how they're going to do it, but they will lighten it up, stiffen it up, have carbon ceramic brakes as standard, and have lots of carbon fiber goodies on the exterior as standard because it will be the top of the line G82. Now this is still early on. We're seeing very heavily camo test mules, which means we don't know a few things. We don't know if it's going to be a CS or a CSL, and we don't know the price point yet. Now even though BMW isn't giving a price or isn't really talking about this car yet, we can make some educated guesses. Now for those of you that don't know, the G82 competition has 510 horsepower. So if I were to take a guess, I'm going to say that CSL is probably going to have somewhere in the range of 530 to 550 horsepower, probably have a reflash, but have the same turbos. I can hope for upgraded turbos, but I'm not sure if BMW is going to go all out and do that. Now, as far as the price point, a G82 comp comes in right at around 72,000. Now, if we're going to get a CSL or a CS, that means it's going to be a little more expensive. I'm going to guess and say it's probably in the ballpark of the $90,000 to $95,000 range. Now, I'm guessing that CSL will not have much in the way of customization. So if you want to, add different brakes or add a different heads-up display or things like that, I think the CSL will kind of just have all of the nicest goodies ready to go. But again, just an educated guess. I would love for BMW to make a CSL of this G82 because the E46 M3 CSL was a great car. It was amazing. NA, inline six, like I said earlier. But in the G82 version, we have two turbos. Now, I'm a boost head. I love turbos, so the more turbos, the better. I think it's going to be wild to see something that BMW adapts to today's standard with this twin turbo platform that they're going to consider their race car, their low-key race car. Now, the thing I'm the most curious about is something that I cannot take an educated guess on. If you guys have a guess or your input, go ahead, let me know in the comments below. But is BMW going to use their 8-speed ZF, or are they gonna use a 6-speed manual? Now, enthusiasts love their manuals, but if we look at previous generations and where BMW is going, they're slowly making less and less manuals. They're going with their DCTs and now their ZF transmissions. Does that mean this CSL or this CS will have the 8-speed ZF in it? If I were to take just a shot in the dark, I'm thinking yes, it will have the ZF, and I don't think it's going to have a manual option. I can hope for that. Hopefully it has a manual option. Hopefully it has bigger redesigned turbos and makes even more than the 530 horsepower that I'm guessing. I would love to be wrong on those things, but I guess we'll see. That's going to be it for the news. I'll see you guys on the next one.